Everybody, and welcome to MRC on a Wednesday evening. It has gone 7 o'clock, which means we are live with some racing. It is Tier 3 from the Shanghai International Circuit in Shanghai, China. I am your lead commentator for this race, BitW365, and alongside me was meant to be CoCom last week, but circumstances. But he's here this week. It is the Red 5 Baron of Martin Hills, also known as Single Track. Good evening.
Evening, mate. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, isn't it?
Not off.
We used to end up doing these quite often, and I feel like it's been a long time. So this is nice.
Yeah, so Shanghai, China.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know what's not nice? This track.
I don't mind it, to be fair. I do not mind it.
No, I don't hate it. I'm joking, really. Really.
And to be fair, it's quite a common scene with GXD always being the first car out to the track in qualifying. So yet again, it'll be a Ferrari in Tier 3 going for a first lap timed run.
I noticed that Mr. Nikolakis has stolen your special Williams livery as well.
To be honest, I do like the Golf Williams livery, but that particular Williams with the white and the blue, the throwback to the early 2000s, I do like the Golf livery, but that one that I was running that's being ran by him, I just prefer it so much more.
Montoya feels, that is.
Montoya, Ralf Schumacher.
Yeah, I try not to talk about Ralf Schumacher unless I have to.
But GXD has just got over the line to start his first run as we head down towards turns 1, 2 and 3, which I like to refer to as the corkscrew, because it's pretty much a corkscrew to open the lap, putting a lot of load on that front left through turns 1 and 2. Got to be careful on the traction through 3. And then 4 as we head down towards turn 5. The one of 2 hairpins at this track. Again, careful on the exit. Then we've got turns 7 and 8, which putting a bit of load on the tyres one way or the other. And then we've got turns 9 and 10. Am I seeing rain already? Yes, we have rain already. I can see streaks on GXD's Ferrari. As we're heading into turn 11.
Get ready to do a lot of talking, Carl, because everyone's going to do a lap now and then go and sit in the pits for 10 minutes, aren't they?
Pretty much. So it's now coming round turn 13 of the Yamasi rankings, and we've got the long back straight. Hopefully no super clipping here from GXD, because we haven't got the 2026 cars just yet, as we're raging down to turn 14. Nice and tidy. Careful on the exit here.
It's a difficult exit, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you got turns 15 and now 16, where we have, luckily for us, we haven't got the gravel on the exit just yet, and it's a 35.294 on a getting damp track, I would say. But as you said, Martin, people are going to be seeing the rain and wanting to get out as quickly as possible. The only 2 in the pits as it stands are 2 Tier 3 drivers that have qualifying bans this evening, and that is Rylan and Hive. They cannot qualify due to having the set number of penalty points to have a qualifying ban.
They've been very, very naughty boys.
As you can, the track's already getting to the point where it's not far off into, because you can see the droplets hitting the tarmac.
Yeah, I think that we may already have our top 10.
Yeah, it's pretty much qualifying done and dusted as we're following Voxidian. As the Ferrari stays out the way. Luckily, DRS is still active for now.
It's gonna. I mean, I'm just watching the grip though. There's just no grip. It's just Slither City. I mean, coming out of that anti-banking like they are at the moment. That's horrible on dry tyres on a damp track. Eek.
Yeah, I know that feeling because I tried it on Monday, but it was the other way round. It was a drying track, not a getting wet one.
Yes, we were just discussing that just before we went live, weren't we, about what a tricky qualifying that was. And there goes the DRS. It is gone.
That is as Voxidian's in, so she's going to almost be towards the back, same as Darth Timms.
Congrats on the pole there, GXD.
Yep. Always the first one out on track, and it's definitely paid dividend this evening because as soon as he was round about turns 9 and 10, the drop started to fall. So,
yeah,
as you say, that is
off track everywhere now. I flicked at anyone, and they're basically on the grass.
Yeah, that is pretty much intermediate conditions. Looking at the track surface, so. As you say, that is qualifying done, and we've still got over 11 minutes to go.
well, we don't know the forecast, so if anybody who is in the session who's listening to us right now could please tell us the forecast, because it could be in 11 minutes. It might be dry again. It probably won't be, but it might be.
Yeah, it would be nice if it does dry up, because I think it was a tier 0. That I was commentating on once, and
sorry, I'm just watching Vitalso go round a corner entirely sideways. That was
very I'm on board with the Haas behind Darky, in the Haas that's just behind him.
Ah, okay. Got lots of new names. Lots of new names in this session.
Yeah, Darky for one of them. Cheesy.
Yeah, okay. I think Mr. Nikolakis is new as well, right?
I would think so, yes. I mean, there's that many people, many new names jumping in and out of Tier 3 and Tier 4 in particular, that it's difficult to stay on top of.
There's I've done quite a few Tier 3 comms this season, and I don't know JM 1999 either.
I think he's got. I think he's full-time seat now at Alpine, so he's
excellent.
Been a few times as Mr. Nikolakis has. Decided to call it a day. Yep, yeah. Pretty much so. Don't blame him. He's gone out the car, round the back of the garage, and he's at this moment in time having an ice cream.
Wrong circuit.
Best idea though.
So, and it was a choc ice.
Pretty much.
So we've got Jack McWhirter saying looks like rain all the way, and then Armar is saying looks like rain, but I think it will be dry. So,
good help, lads. Good help.
Helpful. No one said snow, so at least there is that possibility on the table still. Yeah. There are cars going out. I'm seeing cars going out.
Yeah,
what's the session going to be like, I wonder?
I have no idea, but we're going to be watching Darth Timms as he's going on a flying lap. Yet to set a time in the dry, so he's not hoping to get up towards the front of the timing pages, but he wants to at least get a time on the board. So we'll see how the McLaren does in these intermediate conditions. But
yeah, I mean, when you look at it, there's actually a lot of people who haven't set a lap, so it is actually worth going out and having a few runs.
Voxidian and Darth Timms in particular, because of not getting a time in, they can qualify. It's just the two that are going to be losing out if it ends up being a wet race is Ryland and Hive, because they could go out and get a feel for the track, but they just can't set a lap time. So I'm wondering, Darth Timms with a lovely drift going in towards 9 and then 10 as well. That McLaren getting sideways. And it goes.
So commentator's curse there, I believe, Mr. Edens. He's made a lovely line in the grass, though.
Oh yeah. Bit of 11s in the grass.
Oh dear. Yes, that looks very, very slippery indeed. I am going to guess that the session, the race session's going to be dry, because this looks a lot like people driving. Woohoo!
I'm rounding us again.
It looks a lot like people trying to get around a wet track on dry setups to me.
It does look that way, especially with following Darth Timms, and he's pretty much drifting round every corner and trying to fight that rear end and keep
Failing.
the reason pretty much. We'll see how the other non-time setter does as Voxidian comes around the final corner to have an attempt at a lap. So we'll see how she does in the Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean they've had really, really good pace. This sort of since joining.
Mind you, she's getting a bit sideways through turns too. But I do remember one thing from Australia last week, because I was on League Comms. Voxidian made this ridiculous overtake in the middle sector where she threaded the needle and just managed to make the move done. It was just enough racing room to get the Red Bull through the gap, and it was literally just threading the needle at a high speed, and it was very brave from her. And to be honest, she pulled it off, and to be honest, I think that was my highlight of last week's race in Tier 3, was that one particular overtake.
Yeah, Voxy did a race in Tier 2 a couple of weeks back as well. It'd be nice to see them back in Tier 2 doing some more reserving.
It's actually nice to see the lower tiers having a stab at the higher tiers. Like lately, the last few weeks, we've had a couple Tier 3 drivers jumping into Tier 2. One name, as we mentioned in particular, because he's done a few Tier 2s this week, was Ryling, because even you mentioned, because at one point you thought he was a Tier 2 driver until I corrected you that he was a Tier 3.
Yeah, but I'm daft, you know. So Voxy's about to finish their lap. I think we've got a Ferrari just ahead, or maybe they're starting a lap actually. But
that explains Darth Tim's moments in qualifying. He's learning medium TC.
Yeah, we should probably have a look at the chat properly, shouldn't we? We've got Darth Tim's, Armour Red, Ashley, Jack McWhirter, Scottish Mav. Hello, Scottish Mav.
Hey, round goes Voxidian at turn 2.
Hello to all of you guys here in the chat. Don't forget to like the stream, as I can actually say this on the stream because I'm on stream with him. Carl is a very violent man, and he will get very upset if you don't like the stream. I'm just saying that much tonight. I won't go any further than that. Just like the stream. Just like the stream. If you don't,
I'll open a can on everyone if they don't like the stream.
No, don't stay calm. Do your breathing exercises, Carl. Do the breathing exercises.
Ooh.
I don't want to have to start doing that whole thing about bringing you down from the whole big green monster thing. I
will promise no bloodbaths. I promise no bloodbaths.
Sun's getting real low, big guy. Carl gets that reference.
Anyway.
Wow, there's a lot of slithering and sliding happening. Is anybody, who have we got who could set a lap? We've got Darth Tim's is about to come around to start a lap by the looks of it.
Yeah, still yet to set a time on the board. Voxidian managed to get one in earlier. She's done a 47.6. But
it does look pretty wet, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's full wet conditions at the moment, but as we know from previous races, sometimes the wet tyres are not usually the way to go, because even if it's full wet conditions to start a race, sometimes it favours to be brave and probably starting on a set of inters, because just like in real life, the intermediates just seem to be better than the full wet, even in full wet conditions.
Yeah, there's definitely a line, unlike in real life where the line is it raining? Okay, I won't use the wet tyres then.
But then again, if it was true to real life, as soon as heavy rain came, a red flag would be out and everyone would be sat in the garages waiting for it to stop.
Yeah, Yeah, it's well, I mean, these are obviously into conditions, but
Yeah, ooh, nice little catch from Daft Tims as he's trying to keep that back end in check.
Yeah, it hasn't invalidated. Keep
Oh,
going.
lucky boy.
Yeah,
Darky's retired. I think that would be in the pit lane because he can't see the point of going out. Daft Tim's really fighting the rear end. Ooh, lovely drift through the banking.
What is going on? like he was doing a jigsaw puzzle.
This is China, not Japan, folks. This is China. We're not in Japan. I know it's Asia, but wrong country.
So, this is a hard breaking point in the wet as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you can't be as brave as possible and try Daniel Ricciardo. You got to be as safe as you can and probably braking. It's really fighting that. It's a cracking watch. I'm
really
pure
really
entertainment.
Sorry, Tims, but it's like hilariously amusing watching your. It's like you're doing It's like watching, I don't know, like Beyonce bogling a car around the track. Oh,
Cheesy's retired as well. That's being the garage as well.
How much more of this cursed session is left?
1 minute and 23 seconds.
Everyone just going, oh my goodness, what's happening now?
Voxidin's retired in the garage as well.
Oh dear. Yes, this isn't the best session to commentate on. It's got to be said.
Well, it was done within the first 5 minutes.
five is generous.
3.
So, yeah, it's if someone could let us know what the forecast for the race is, that would be nice.
Yes, it would be helpful.
So,
but as you say, judging by the way some of these drivers were fighting the cars as soon as the rain came, it does kind of signify that they are running dry setups, so it could be a dry race.
Or they didn't check the weather forecast properly.
Many of us have done that.
It's easy to do. I've got like a race dash app on my phone, so I use a dashboard when I'm racing.
You sweat.
It has a weather forecast in it, so it takes the game data and actually breaks it down a little bit further than the game does, which can be handy. It's not always right because obviously it still takes the game data, which is
right.
Deliberately.
Martin has just confirmed he is going to be race engineering everyone next season because of that one situation.
It only works on for me when I'm driving, though, doesn't it? So, and you wouldn't want me race engineering. I'd probably just be saying sarcastic stuff all the way through, like, "Oh God, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Stop it! Why are you braking? Oh, etc."
It can't be much worse than having Chris. Trust me.
So Ashley says dry start into okay, so that's what Armar's comment was. The race is going to be dry but possibly wet at the end.
So probably some of them look to be dry, braving it with a dry setup for the majority of the race then, and some people may have gone safe and gone for a wet setup towards the end. I mean, which way would you approach it?
Bizarrely for this one, I actually did make myself an intermediate setup. so I can't remember why that was now. Oh, I know why, because in my because I run a career alongside what we're doing so that I can use career as practice, and in my career it was a mixed race session, so I made a sort of a middle-ish setup that had a little bit more downforce, a slightly higher ride height, all those sorts of things.
A balanced middle ground setup.
Yeah, it still worked in the dry, but I always think it depends on when it thinks it's going to come. So if it's saying it's going to come, like 2/3 of the way through the race, then it's worth doing something to give yourself a bit of help if it should happen, but nothing.
Yeah, but if it's going to be too late, you might as well just stick with your usual setup and just wing it.
Yeah, because apart from anything else, you get kind of used to what the car feels like as you practice, and trying to then mess around with it at the last minute if it's going to be dry. It means that you end up compromising yourself. You don't know what the car's going to feel like in the dry. But anyway, we should probably talk about who's where, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we'll do that on format. Well, I think I'll be able to do it if I pause it and get the race director up. So I could do it that way, or I could wait for the formation lap. Which one do you choose?
Well, we've filled for the last 15 minutes, so I'm sure we can fill for another 5. Oh, dearie me.
What is that in the sky? It's bright.
It is, which is probably good news, to be honest with you. So, congratulations to GXD, obviously. His first pole, he's saying in the chat, so well done, mate.
Oh, lucky boy. Yeah, going out. He always ends up being the first one out on track, even the amount of times I've commentated Tier 3, and this time it's definitely paid dividends, being the first car out.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely, it was a. I should have watched more carefully, but I almost wondered whether like the top 10 were the first 10 that crossed the line, literally as in order. But yeah. What do you think? What did you think about the race last weekend?
Well, there was clearly 3 or 4 different races going off. Because you had the Cadillacs and the Astons towards the back.
They're not really racing. They're just going around a bit. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, Mercedes aren't really racing either. They're just going off in front and reminiscing about 2014.
Well, that safety car restart, they had a few woes, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much. And obviously, Antonelli got a dreadful start for the sprint race, which was... unexpected. I mean, I think the most unexpected one was the Verstappen getting 2 horrid starts and losing 7 positions, I think, in both sprint and the race.
Yes, and then I believe that they found an awful lot of toys scattered around his pram later on that day.
Yeah, he's not liking these regulations. The people that I know that are clearly enjoying this season so far has to be Lewis and Charles, because both in Australia and definitely in China last weekend, and especially in China, it was pretty much the Ferrari show, because once Mercedes had gone out in front, it was literally the entire race was almost Lewis and Charles just re-overtaking each other for lap after lap,
and it was amazing.
Yeah, and as I think some people said, is that's how fair racing should be, referencing to papaya rules and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I was having a chat with a few people in the Discord as the race was going on, and I said I think they might have to introduce what was it I called it? Tomato terms.
Very good. Very good.
But what I thought? See, I think a lot of people are now complaining that cars are actually overtaking each other, which I'm finding a bit odd. But bear with me. Hear me out.
Go on.
What I think is happening, and there's a few times where cars are blasting past each other because they've got a lot more power. But what is happening a lot as well, which people don't seem to be recognizing, is it's putting people into the corners alongside each other. And they're literally fighting wheel to wheel through corners. So they're getting alongside due to the energy difference, but then they're having to battle through multiple corners to kind of get track position. So there's a bit more to it, and I don't think, I mean, this race was nowhere near as hindered by the lack of energy as Australia was, obviously.
Oh, that was especially the clipping in the middle sector was
yeah. I mean, the first laps of Australia were pretty amazing as well.
Yeah, and then it seemed to die off towards the second half of it.
It became a normal F1 race, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think so. Do you know about this Aduo thing? Do you know about which is basically additional development upgrade opportunities. And basically, every 6th race, if your power unit is more than 2% down on the leading power unit, you can do work to improve it.
I have heard about it. Yes.
Apparently, the Ferrari falls into that category.
Really?
Yeah. Which is rather interesting, isn't it?
For saying although I think one of the reasons why they seem to be having a good start, I think, is they don't seem to have as much turbo lag as the other teams, I would think, because they have a smaller turbo on those Ferraris, I think.
Yeah, that's really, really helping them, and you can see it out of. Oh, there's a bunch of cars going for a race. You can see it out of slow corners as well, can't you? It's not just on the starts. You can see them getting out of slow corners.
Yeah, because the Mercedes was relatively strong in sector 1 and 3, but it was the Ferraris in that middle sector that was keeping them well and truly in the fight with the Mercedes, because it's more twisty in that middle sector, whereas the first and third sectors, there's a few more straights, and especially with that back straight, the Mercedes could literally just stretch the legs, and whilst they're on formation, will run through the grid. It was GXD that took pole within the first 3 minutes of qualifying before the rain dropped. Ivan, championship leader, is in second. Lil, highest placed McLaren in P3. JM in the Alpine is 4th. Josh Boy is 5th. Triz is 6th. Popito 7th. Sinful is 8th. Nicolo is in 9th. Geke, yeah, getting tongue-tied.
I think that's Greek, I think. Nikolakis,
yeah. Geke 10th, Darky in 11th, Vitolso in 12th, then it's Cheesy in 13th, Voxidian 14th, Darth Timms in 15th. They're down there because sadly they didn't get a time in the dry. They ended up setting their times in the wet. Then we've got the 2 higher tiers of GTS in 16th and then Armar in 17th, and then we have Rylan in 18th and Hive in 19th. Rounding off the backfield because of having to serve a qualifying ban, so they're a bit on the back foot. I mean, they could have gone out and got a feel for the track as long as they didn't set a time, but they decided to just sit in the garage, and kind of puts them in the back foot. But Rylan not so much, because he did reserve in tier 2, so he's got a rough idea how this track behaves, and hopefully he can use that to his advantage. And whilst they're coming round to the grid, I just have a look at tyres. Popito going for a very aggressive start. He's going for the Red Bull tactic of the soft tyre for the first stint, and then it's almost a 50-50 split between the medium and hards. The highest hard runner off the line will be Lil, so expect her to probably...
I was going to say, I guess that's her highest start position, probably, isn't it?
I would say so, yeah. And she's obviously going to have the slowest start out the front people because of being on those hards. They expect Popito to get an aggressive start, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we are racing for Tier 3 in China. Very aggressive pointing start for GXD.
That was a very Ferrari start.
Yeah, Lil holding it around the outside of turn 2, trying to keep ahead of JM.
Hard with those cold hards, though.
Yeah, but that is the Alpine up to 3rd on those medium tyres. Popito up to 5th on the soft, which is no surprise. And now looking... Oh, we've got a big one in the background. We've lost Darky already. And a few got caught up in that as well. Sauber down towards the back. Sinful. And we have a VSC.
We do. Of course, we've done, 20 minutes of filling, so, probably need to do another few.
Yeah, we've...
we've got a bit of a collision between Cheesy and Hive.
Cheesy and Hive, 10 seconds for Cheesy there for the Alpine for a severe collision. So we're already down to 18 from 19 that started. GXD with the start that he needed to on the mediums, keeping ahead of Ivan. JM getting up to third off the line, and Pepito, I would say, the biggest gainer. No, the actual biggest gainer is Darth Timms, but from down towards the back end, he's up 7 places, and Hive as well. He's up 9.
Darth Timms said in the chat he's going to win, so...
Bold claim.
So I can see the other... I think the other Sauber has got massive front wing damage, so did they come together? Where were they? Were they near each other on the grid?
I would think so. Everyone's trying to be careful of the delta down at the hairpin of turn 6 of turn 14.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Triz and Darky. I can't actually.
Oh, JM with a great start off the as we went green flag. He's already ahead of Ivan before turn 1, so caught Ivan napping as we went green flag. So that's the Alpine up into second, the Racing Bull down to third. And Lil with those cold, hard tyres, struggling a little bit in these early stages. Dropped to second.
Won't have helped her either.
No, that virtual, as we have the higher tier drivers as well as Nikolakis and Triz as well, so the Williams and Sauber more than likely having repairs as well. Armar and GTS pitting at the end of lap 1 as per the rules.
Yeah, I was actually just looking, so none of last year's podium finishers are actually in tier 3 anymore. So.
No, because the pole sitter is now racing us in tier 2.
Yes.
And obviously the race winner is now racing the likes of Chris Ulgorny and them lot in tier 1.
He's in the race, GTS, he's there.
Yeah, he's in it, but he's technically tier 1 driver. Yeah, He got a max for staff, and he got to skip a division.
However, what I was going to say is we do have the win. So GXD actually won this race in tier 4 last time round.
Yeah.
And Josh Boy was third. So we've got obviously the couple of the promotees are doing quite well in this race.
As Voxidian has just gone past both Lil and Josh Boy going down towards turn 1. So the Red Bulls are now ahead of both McLarens. But that is fair play from Voxidian. She was behind Josh Boy and Lil as you were talking, Martin, and then all of a sudden she's took the pair of them before turn 1. So showing definitely very good overtaking prowess, carrying it over from Australia, and now finds herself P5.
Yeah, I just caught the end of that, and it looks like Lil is really struggling to get these tyres turned on. She's like looking like the middle sector looks horrible, massive understeer everywhere. Hive
has got ahead of Darth Timms in the process, so they've pretty much swapped places from where they started, because Darth Timms was ahead of Hive, because obviously Hive had a qualifying ban, but he's now worked his way up to P8 and is splitting the McLarens. So 3 seconds for Darth Timms. Yeah, JM and GX at the GXD at the turn 14 hairpin, and Ivan's looking to get involved as well. Backs out before the final corner, so it is GXD, JM, Ivan and Popito 1, 2, 3 and 4 still. They have bolted. It's about just over nearly 3.7 seconds back to the 2 Red Bulls, who are having a fight amongst themselves.
Yeah, there's a massive battle happening sort of in the back of the midfield there. There's a lot of people all on the same bit of track, but I think it's settling into a bit of a train. Whereas GXD, I don't envy him, because I feel like this is one of those tracks where really you don't want to be in the lead, because it's really hard to make any pace happen when you don't have DRS on this track. It's massively powerful.
And you mentioned the train in the midfield. It's almost like, although the two McLarens are starting to stretch away from that train now, you got the two Red Bulls and then the two McLarens in their own little scrap. So it looks like Lil is now starting to find her feet with those hard tyres. It has took a few laps to get them working, but now she does look to be in a comfortable position.
Yeah, 3 full hot laps and they'll be up to speed now, yeah. But GXD gets a great exit out of that Anting banking. That's keeping him where he is, but such a long straight, isn't it?
Yeah, JM not close enough to have a look into turn 14, so he's going to have to stay behind. But he could get a good exit, and GXD covers that off. So yeah, it's pretty much line astern for the top 4, because when you're stuck in a DRS train, as JM trying to size up the Ferrari towards turn 1, but GXD covering that inside. JM not able to swoop around the outside as we've seen the likes of Leclerc and Hamilton did at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, in the game, the fastest way around that corner is the inside.
Yeah,
edge
pretty
of the track,
much.
isn't it?
To go round the outside, you've got to pretty much dump everything. As he's going on the inside of GXD at the hairpin.
He'll have a worse...
As a traction battle, bit of contact between the two of them.
That was a bit unfortunate. I think that was a bit of a tank slapper that caused that.
Yeah, both of them pretty much traction battle out the exit, and Ivan as well struggling with a bit of traction out of that hairpin as well. But the way these have been fighting, the Red Bulls have been slowly working their way up to this front 4. Voxidian leading away Josh Boy as they have been slowly creeping up in the battle for the top 4. So sooner or later we will have the two Red Bulls getting involved in that, as well as JM trying to break the toe from the likes of GXD and Ivan. But Ivan having a look as we head down towards turn 14. And you got Pepito trying to hang it around the outside on those soft tyres. It's going to be interesting to see how far he can take those softs.
I've got to say, I feel like Ivan is the one who looks like he's got the most pace out of that front bunch.
Yeah, he does, and he's
and I've just given him a commentator's blessing.
Yeah, as he tried to have a look at turn 1, but again GXD covers it off. But with the way the front 4 have been fighting, as we can see now, both Red Bulls are now pretty much on the train as well. So it's gone from a 4-car battle to a 6. I
wonder how much they've used their tyres fighting as well.
Yeah, and the only one in that top 6 now that are in that train that's on tyres that will be slowly coming to them is the one we're following right now, which is Voxidian. She's on the hard tyres, whereas Popito ahead of her is on softs. You got the front 3 on mediums, and you've got
very pacey, very pacey right now.
Those
Look at
hards,
that traction difference.
Yeah, the hards definitely look to be at that point where they are the tyre to be more preferable, because the mediums will be dropping off as Vitolso is disconnected. Hopefully Vitolso can get back in. But yeah, she's got...
that Popito is still going around on those softs. They look evil.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the difference in traction from Voxidian as she is past the Williams down towards turn 14, so that is a place for the Red Bull.
Pepito's got wing damage as well, I think, unless I imagine that. Yeah, left end plate missing.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate on the left side of that Williams. So, to be fair, driving with wing damage and probably screaming soft tyres at this point, fair play to be keeping up with the front runners.
Yeah, it's the thing is, I mean, the medium is I mean, look, you can see the traction difference there. I mean, Josh Boy had to get out of the throttle completely to avoid creaming into the back of Pepito there.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be becoming a sitting duck. The further he goes, the more and more of a sitting duck he's going to be on exits, I think.
Yeah. And it's weighing up that that choice. Do you try and drag it out?
No. Get rid of them. They're horrid.
Yeah, because he's just losing time now, really, isn't he? Being out on those. As Vitolso is back in.
I've just realised. Sorry. Ignore me. Yeah, no, I wasn't imagining things. Voxy is right in there. I thought so.
Yeah, she's looking to go around the outside for the inside.
Oh,
the grip on the hard tyres as she swoops around the inside of the Yamsoon banking. Red Bull on Racing Bull.
And she's going to get the Ferrari as well.
She might do, but the Ferrari's covered her off. But no, she has.
Yeah, no, they've done a good job
there. 2 places for Voxidian as GXD breaks later. All contact!
No!
Ferrari and Red Bull. Not the first time we've seen contact there, especially the Williams as well. 3-1 almost collateral there. But Voxidian goes from 2nd down to 5th, although she has took both of them again. She's back up to 4th. Yeah.
That was a bit. That was a little bit belligerent, if you ask me.
Oh, a bit of wheel banging again at turn 2 between GXD and Voxidian. GXD not afraid to be one of the late breakers, but mind you, in all that.
There's just no point fighting, because at this point those mediums are screaming. 8 laps in, those mediums
lock
feel
up from
awful.
Voxidian, but sorry, not Voxidian, from Ivan, but in that melee. That's allowed JM to scamper away a bit.
I'm not a big fan of some of the racing I'm seeing right now, I'll be honest. But at the end of the day, you've got to leave the space, I think someone once said.
Yeah, sometimes frustration does get the better of us, but we do have to try and keep a level head in the moment, because it is so easy to get frustrated when you're stuck behind a car that you know you're quicker than. But if you're going to overtake them, use your brain and... brilliant slide in the background for Pepito. Well hold as Voxidian with DRS on GXD.
If I was the Ferrari at this point, I would just accept that it's costing me a lot of time to be fighting as hard as they are.
Yeah.
And they're fighting...
more contacts between Ferrari and Red Bull.
There's I just think at this point all GXD is doing is costing himself time. Look at the gap
Popito is boxing, as you say. After that moment, he's getting off those soft tyres. Ivan has closed the gap to JM, and Josh Boy has followed, so they have now caught back up to the Alpine out front. So JM, Ivan and Josh Boy now in the battle for those top 3 places, whilst GXD and Voxidian pretty much almost look like they're trying to knock 7 bells out of each other at stages, but I digress from that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Ash in the chat. GXD would be better off just letting, if he's got enough pace to stay roughly in Voxy's area, then let them go ahead and use the DRS. You'd be lapping a lot quicker than you are right now.
As he's fighting the rear end and she's having to back out of it in the corner as GXD will let her through. But again, he's gone from a... Ooh. I'm trying to be careful what I say here, especially with being lead commentator.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see this in the stewards, to be honest with you, because I think there's some rash decision making happening.
Speaking of big lockup for Ivan after overtaking JM for the lead. So race leader is now the championship leader.
So we completely missed at the front that Ivan's got up into the lead. I totally hadn't realised that. I was too busy watching other battles. But
yeah, there's that many scraps going off. The McLarens. JM trying to do a Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, but as you say, the quickest way to overtake, especially with these type of cars on this particular game, is down the inside. It is very difficult to try and sweep one round the outside, especially at turn 1.
Yeah, I mean
another lock-up again for Ivan. He's locking up quite a lot at this point.
Front left wear here, isn't it? You get a horrible
the front left gets absolutely smashed round here, especially at the likes of turn 1 and turn 2, and then the Yamsing banking as well, because you're putting all the load on that left front tyre that it's pretty much, I would say, almost double the wear of most the other tyres, I believe, percentage wise. That's a guess. That's a guess.
But I just don't like the feel of the mediums around here at all. I thought the hards felt much nicer.
Yeah, I do. It does do the factor that as Nikolakis has gone, we have a full safety car, so that will help those on the medium tyres to go for a set of hards. I mean, it's ideal for a 2-stop, because if you got the harder allocation, it's not a bad idea to do a medium hard, because as you say, after so many laps, the mediums just do not feel nice whatsoever, as Ivan goes nearly into the wall where Lewis Hamilton got stuck in the gravel on the pit entry.
Yeah. This doesn't help Voxy. They are going to be furious about the timing of this, because if it was maybe another 3 laps even.
Yeah, she's having to stack up behind Josh Boy as well.
Another 3 laps with a bit of safety car, you might just drag a set of mediums to the end from here, but that's now going to be a 2-stop.
Yes, you would be hoping for her that she has selected the harder allocation for like a set of hards to go to the end, and Voxidian's not the only one that's full foul of this. We have Lil as well, if you remember. She started on the hards as well, so it's not really favoured her either. She's in the opening 10-11 laps, she's gone from P3, she now finds herself down in 10th, but that is due to the fact that she was pretty much towards the front end of the grid where everyone were on mediums, and she was pretty much the only one on hards, so she was struggling to get them switched on, whereas the mediums were switched on relatively soon, especially with that virtual as well. She just couldn't get the hard tyres switched on in those early stages.
I mean, Voxy's got the pace.
She has shown she's definitely got the pace.
They've now got the tyre advantage temporarily anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a few positions.
But due to being double stacked behind Josh Boy, she has dropped behind both GXD and Darth Tims in the process.
Yeah, but is the first medium runner. It's actually, Pepito has kind of been helped by that with his strategy, because Pepito
definitely
was 2-stopping anyway.
If you started on a soft tyre, you're pretty much saying, I'm going 2-stop, I'm going aggressive.
Yeah, Ryland's gone to a soft. I'm sure I would have done that personally. But it's going to be interesting tactically. I mean, the funny thing is, like, this was the point I stopped. Actually, I stopped early. I went on lap 11 for my stop.
I can't remember what lap I went for.
But when that was just before that happened, I was about to talk about it because the undercut was massively powerful. And
because I overheard that the undercut was like probably 2 or 3 seconds. 2 or 3 seconds a lap. It was ridiculous.
Because it's just borderline between 2 and 1 stop this race, so 1 stop is definitely faster. But I started the race intending 2 stop, and then switched it to a 1 stop because I'd been making progress and I didn't want to lose the track position. But
especially with the amount of positions you made up in that race from where you started, due to the tricky qualifying that we had for tier 2.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't my greatest showing. But speaking of which, though, so Darth Tims, who put himself on for a win, have you seen how many positions he's gained? He's now up 10.
But sadly for him, he is carrying 3 seconds as well, so that's not going to favour him.
We don't talk about these things.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
But and Voxy, they're up 8. Rylan is up 9. So we've got a lot of we've got some real movers in the pack.
Yeah, got I think that's GTS letting the tier 3s by as the lights are off in the safety car, so Ivan will be taking control of the pace for this restart, as both high tier drivers have now also safely let Hive through without conceding him any penalties. So to be fair,
Yes,
GTS and Armar are have been reserving tier 3 and whatnot for most of the season, so they know how to do it in a safe way, so experienced heads in the matter.
I was going to say, I saw Armar doing the whole, the school lawnmower job, where you...
Where the Valtteri Bottas.
He was chundering along on the grass on the back straight there, letting people through, which is very kind of him.
Yeah, so we've got... I wonder if Ivan's going to go before the final... I believe he's going to go before the final corner. He has, and JM's kept with him, but JM struggling to keep it in track limits on that final corner. He does a Kimi Antonelli moment, as Popito does exactly the same thing. But as I mentioned, luckily for us, we haven't got the gravel on the exit just yet. So as soon as we do get the updated China, whenever that comes in, whichever video game in the future, we are going to have to be extra careful on the exit of the final corner around here because of that piece of gravel on the exit, because it could lose you more time than anything, as Ivan with a lock up into the hairpin as he holds the lead from JM and Josh Boy.
Yeah, Voxy nearly caught themselves out there because the braking difference between the hards and the mediums was phenomenal. Like, they had to absolutely back out and actually lost a load of time and immediately made it back. So Voxy needs to make moves now while the tyre difference is there, because there's clearly a lot of grip.
Yeah, but sadly there's no DRS until the following lap. So she's pretty much...
It's been really good. So.
Oh yes, I mean
I think we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, the mediums are clearly the quicker tyre, and she's going to have to take advantage of it as she tries to take Darth Tims at the Yamsung banking like she did with the likes of other drivers before, and it's just a drag race down towards the hairpin. Darth Tims will be again a bit of a tow, but the inside for the Red Bull, and I think the McLaren's covered it. Still side by side going into the final corner. Yeah, Darth Tims did cover it in the final corner, so the McLaren stays ahead of the Red Bull, but Voxidian not giving up as we head down towards turn 1 as she tries to sweep around the outside of the McLaren.
Went a bit deep.
Yeah, and that's allowed Darth Tims to... Oh!
That's all we need to say.
You knew it was going to happen because obviously at that point in the corner the door just slammed shut.
Yeah, it was not dissimilar to the incident at the weekend between Ocon and
as we were talking about before we went live as well. Luckily for Lewis and Charles, they did not do that.
No, they drove beautifully together, didn't they?
Yeah.
I thought Charles was going to get on the radio and start having a bit of a bitching session because he does.
No, but he thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was like as he was on the radio, he sort of had this like dawning realization. It was in his voice. He was like, "This is actually quite good fun."
Yeah, it did come across like that. Oh, Darth Tims has gone.
And he's having his car's having some kind of fit. It's very interesting to watch.
So we're down to 16 now. So
sorry, Darth Tims, you've made me laugh twice this evening.
So
and that's unfortunate.
All the tier 3 drivers are going to be scoring points. Because obviously we've got the 2 higher tier drivers still in. So we've got 14 tier 3 drivers and 2 higher tier drivers. So the tier 3 drivers, as long as they finish, are pretty much guaranteed to get points, because knowing GTS and Armar, if they can do towards the end, if there's any like tier 3s behind them on the final lap, even if they have done that pit, they will slow down and give them the position. So all being well, it should be points for all tier 3. Fingers crossed.
Yes. So just keep going to the end. No silly early retirements because you're guaranteed a point.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm sorry to say. Actually, I am actually a bit sorry for Darth Timms there because he was doing phenomenally. He was having a really
especially
good race.
For saying he didn't get a time in until the rain came, so he ended up starting down towards the back end. And mind you, he gave us some brilliant entertainment in qualifying, so fair play to him on that. But yeah, it is unfortunate what happened, and he was having a fantastic race, and as we know with racing, it can all fall apart rather abruptly, which is sadly what it did for Darth Timms.
Ivan pushed super hard to make sure that the DRS wasn't activated.
Yeah, we was following him on this lap, but we have Josh Boy. One. Yeah, Josh Boy trying to go around the outside of the hairpin on the Alpine. JM, gets it done round the outside. So must have got better grip going round. Sometimes it is, especially in the low speed corners, getting better traction if you're going round the outside, because you just have more, you can find the grip better than trying to keep it pinned to the inside sometimes, especially in the lower speed corners.
You can. The downside is you can't open the steering wheel quite as quickly, which means you can't get back on the throttle quite as quickly.
No, so it's pretty much double-edged sword.
But Bobo has entered the chat, I notice. Hello, Bobo. And Darth Timms is saying, I made it so far. You did.
Not quite the win, though, was it?
I mean, so far, if you call half the race so far, I guess that's fine. Yeah.
But sadly...
I'm sorry, that was a bit catty.
You weren't joking.
Voxy, I noticed, whilst we weren't looking, has got past GXD.
Yeah, and although she has got quite a gap to the likes of JM, and it's going to be interesting how long those mediums are going to stay competitive, because as we saw in the early stages, as soon as the mediums started to switch off and the hards started to be the more favourable tyres, she was near enough, quotation marks, pushing GXD round corners at times. But just watching from the back shot of Voxidian, I was just wondering if there was too many moves by GXD when defending against Popito, unless it was just trying to break the toe. I was just trying to watch for that during that, but I think it was all fair.
So up at the front, obviously Ivan's now managed to open up that gap, and it's sort of stabilising. But then again, you've got Josh Boy and JM are fighting each other.
Yeah,
so
that's
doing that. They probably catch back up again. Right, sometimes it's smarter to not attack. Just let the car ahead
as you were stating with Voxidian and GXD in the early stages, you well and truly said if GXD played the smart game, he would have let Voxidian through, knowing she was on the better tyre and had more pace, and just drag him along to get onto the back of the train in front. She has dropped GXD, mind you, by 2.5 seconds since overtaking, so she has definitely got some oomph under her in that Red Bull.
What is going on with Voxy's car? Because it looks like they've driven through the Dulux factory and it's spattered all over with, like, it looks like bird poo. It's
plenty of grass cuttings, I see.
So now they are catching. They're taking a little bit back out, but Ivan looks pretty comfortable to me.
He's just going to control the pace and just keep Josh Boy at arm's length, as Josh Boy has just broken the 1 second to JM as we go towards turn 1 and 2. So JM has now dropped out of DRS of the Red Bull, so
that might not be a bad thing. That might actually let Josh look ahead rather than behind.
Yeah, plus it could help JM as well, because when you're relatively close to a car in front, the dirty air can make the car behave a lot differently to in clean air. So probably having that clean air now from for JM will probably help. It also helps with the tyres as well if you're getting a bit of clean air, because you can do a bit of tyre saving and whatnot. There's Josh Boy has closed that gap down a tiny bit to Ivan on this lap. It was 1.5.
It was 1.5, yeah.
It's now down to 1.4. Although it's back up to what?
Is he?
No, as you I think you've mentioned it earlier on. Ivan does seem to get a very good exit at the Yamsing banking.
Yeah, I did something unusual with that Anting banking, which was, you know how you kind of identify something to use as a braking marker in the braking zone, right? I made a note of when I found like a physical thing to look point to go full throttle.
Right.
So that I knew that once I was past that point, no matter what my tyre wear was, I could get full throttle.
You could literally just put your foot down and the car will grip.
Yeah, so I did the opposite of a braking zone. I had an accelerating zone instead, and it worked. Because I'm an absolute sucker for spinning on that Anting banking. I really am. I've done it so many times. So I identified that there's a point where there's a DHL banner on the right hand side of the track, and once it was past me, I could go full throttle at that point.
Give him a gold medal, folks.
So the other thing that Josh Boy could do to go faster is to not use that disgusting livery. Red Bull. Oh, let's do a special edition livery. Oh, it's going to be so exciting. It's white.
Where have we seen that before?
Sorry, I'm sorry, but Red Bull's idea of special liveries is about as special as. It's just basically they just paint it white. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, exciting. And then it just ends up looking like it looks like a racing bulls instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, just had to get that off my chest.
You have no love lost yet for Red Bull still, even though Christian Horner's gone. You still can't stand them.
I'm not going to say anything. Anyway,
playing your cards right.
so the action is actually all happening further back now. So
yeah, because
DRS train.
Behind Lil, and at the moment.
Yeah.
Because GTS is now on the back of Popito, but GTS, obviously being a higher tier driver, has just been threading himself through the slower cars. And as you say, there's a few cars being stuck behind the sole McLaren of Lil.
Yeah, who unfortunately is at some point going to have to get off those tyres, I think.
Yeah,
I can't see them
she's
doing another
pretty
8 laps,
much in the same predicament as Voxidian further up the grid.
Yeah, they feel pretty nasty after 8 laps, let alone at this stage needing to do another 8 laps. So
yeah, I mean, the only saving grace for Voxidian really is she's got nearly 5 seconds to GXD, so she could at one point get at the phase where she's got a big enough gap where she can pretty much just nurse those mediums to try and get them to the end, because although the later you leave it, the more it's going to hurt.
I don't think they can make it. I literally think that they'll pop.
Would you gamble it in Voxidian's position, though, being that high up, with the next car being about 5 seconds behind?
Well, let's just have a look at... So...
Popito's just pitted, though.
Yeah, if I was Voxy, I'd be thinking about pitting right now, I think. I think top 10 is about as good as you could probably hope to get.
Yeah,
tonight.
It's pretty much trying to maximise what you can get instead of.
I mean, Vitalso's 20th is 11 seconds back from Voxy. I think it's 24 seconds pit loss here, so you'd end up behind, but coming up very, very quickly.
Yeah,
but
and as we've seen, she's got some decent pace under her. Mind you, the gap to GXD has started to come down because it's now at 4.5. So though she is trying everything with those mediums still, but as you say, she's going to be asking a bit too much as we have a yellow flag.
I was going to say, if they're going to stop, they need to do it now, or they won't have the laps to make the positions back. So
yeah,
because I'm just watching, I'm on board with Cheesy following Lil, and Lil is clearly struggling because that gap is shrinking quickly as well.
Yeah. Alpine not close enough to make as a little show of the hand to the McLaren, but not able to. Oh, as Voxidian has pitted.
Yeah, that's the right move.
Is Lil going to see it? No, Lil's carrying on.
So where's
but right call by, judging from what you were saying, right call from Voxidian. What tyre has the Red Bull gone to? Let's have a little look while she's in the pit lane. And it's another set of mediums for the Red Bull, so she is going to be rapid in these closing laps.
Yeah, it's how much they can make, that's the question.
Yeah, she's come out
11th.
In clean air, 10 seconds or so from Geke in P10, but
the tyre offset is going to be huge.
It is, and being in clean air as well, she is pretty much going to be able to perfect every single corner because there's not going to be a car in front to hinder that the run of air around the car. So she is pretty much in the perfect position to get her foot down, and I think. I
was just going to say, looking at the other medium-tired car of Lil is now got two cars right up behind. So
to quote
that tired, it's just not
to
working
quote
now.
Connor. Two cars up a chuff, to quote Connor.
Yes, indeed.
As
I wouldn't be surprised to see the
GTS
Alpine
has just made a move past GXD.
I think the Alpine's making a move on Lil now.
Yeah. Although Lil's trying to fight it around the outside, but those mediums are not going to be any good. But Cheesy's through, and Sinful has followed as well.
Lil's carrying on. So,
thing is, at some point it's going to be too. Yeah, I can see the logic too, and she's going to be losing time hand over fist. But it may work out, it may not.
I mean, the thing is, like the hard will do a lot of laps. And it doesn't fall off. I mean, it does fall off quite a lot compared to a fresher tyre, but it doesn't feel bad.
No, when the medium goes off, you feel it.
Yeah, I mean, it literally starts feeling like you're driving on frying oil. It's like literally the tyre temperatures go so high.
Yeah, because when the medium started to go, the one thing I didn't like about it is when I'm racing is I like to know that my rear is stable and in check. Once those mediums started to go...
We all like to know that your rear is stable, Carl.
As Hive sets the fastest lap 35.892 on a set of soft tyres.
Ivan's pulling away, literally just driving off up the road now.
Yeah, he's got, I would say, 3 seconds to Josh Boyer. It's 2.9, and it is looking like it's going to be Ivan extending his lead in the championship.
I'm finding his Charles Leclerc helmet in a racing balls a bit weird. I won't lie.
I wasn't gonna mention anything on the matter, but I will say this: it looks unusual. Wrong. It looks wrong. I will say this: it looks wrong.
Yeah. We don't really do helmet chat anymore. We used to do helmet chat, didn't we?
Oh, Gav was the master of helmet chat. He invented the thing.
because there's actually more helmets available in the game suddenly now. So
Oh
actually
yeah,
there's
as
a variety
our
appearing.
higher tier drivers decided to not let a tier 3 have their day and have the fastest lap, even though it doesn't matter. At least Hive would have had bragging rights to say he was the fastest car on track, even though he is on soft tyres.
So closest battle on track is Simple and Cheesy, isn't it, at the moment? I'm riding on board with Cheesy again.
Yeah, Lil Steve is still keeping in touch with them as well. She's not dropping off.
Yeah, she's doing all right. So where's Voxy? Voxy's now within DRS of Geke.
Yeah, she's on the back of the Mercedes. So it is Mercedes versus Red Bull. What year are we in? But she will have DRS.
She's just going to drive past. Absolute
grip.
Absolute mugging.
It's like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah.
And she does get DRS as well because she was behind in the detection point. Ahead in the activation though. So that is P10 for the Red Bull. She's now got 3.5 seconds to find to catch up to the junior team of Racing Bull of Vitalso in P9.
And Vitalso's on hards, so yeah, I think that gap's going to come down pretty quick.
Yeah, and then if she can catch and pass Vitalso, she could get Lil as well, because although she is doing very, very well to stay on the back of both Sinful and Cheesy.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I've got to say,
I thought they would drop her quite a lot for staying on those mediums, but she's definitely nursing those mediums well, especially in these closing stages. Yes, the car's going to be lighter as well, so the tyres are not going to be as bit of a slide there through turn 9 and 10, but she kept it held.
Yeah. So Lil is almost on the back of Cheesy
I think what's helping Lil in some retrospect is yeah. I think what's helping her is the way that Sinful and Cheesy are literally duking it out. Like it's a race win on the line, which we'd love to see, as she's now right on the back of them again. And then you've got Vitalso closing in as well. And as we say, that Voxidian is now on the back of the Racing Bull. This is for 9th and 10th.
And look how close all the cars in front are now.
Yeah, so if she can get one, she may get them all, as she goes for the inside of turn 1, and Vitalso doesn't even fight it.
Yep, they absolutely got spanked.
So played it safe and thought there's no point fighting this.
Ashley in the chat has asked for more helmet chat, and also says, "Wait till you see my helmet." And that's not the sort of message I want to be reading in the chat. To be honest with you, Ashley, keep that sort of filth to yourself, please. But what I actually was going to say, funnily enough, is if you look at Cheesy, I'm pretty sure Cheesy's running an Alonso-inspired helmet.
Let's have a look. You could say that, yes. It's one of the helmets, but it's unchanged. That's the colour scheme it is. But
is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the default colour scheme for that helmet. So, but you can go along those lines. I would say it's more of a.
GXD just had a massive tank slapper.
Yeah, and luckily he's pretty much on his own. So
Voxy's now ahead of Lil. I hadn't noticed, and closing in quickly on Sinful, really quickly.
It's all.
I can see Voxy ending up 5th.
It is looking this way.
I mean, just look at the grip difference, and look at that Sauber. It looks like Colin McRae.
Trying to keep the. She's having a look round the outside.
That Alpine was a bit scary.
Yeah, the Sauber backed. I would say the Sauber backed out there, because I think the Sauber was trying to think. Yeah, I'm just going to try and get to the end. We are on lap 27 of 28, so
Voxy's got so much grip, they don't know what to do with it. Like,
Yeah,
they're
she
literally just plunge past under the brakes. Yeah, there we
lock
go.
up by the
Easy
Alpine
peasy.
on the inside, and
Yeah. Oh! It's not
traction
gonna...
race still there.
Yeah.
But I think that's the Red Bull past the Alpine, so that is P6 for Voxidian as she is fighting back through after making the extra stop. She has got about 2 seconds.
Where all the grip is needed as well.
Ooh,
so yeah.
Yeah, she's got less than 2 seconds to get GXD, and she's got 1.5 laps, I would say, to do it.
So Josh Boy's taken 2 seconds out of Ivan.
Yes, he has. I think Ivan's just cruising around trying to get to the end, but you can get complacent if you're not careful, as Ivan does lead us on to the final lap, 28 of 28, with Josh Boy 1.6 seconds behind. Then it is nearly 11 seconds back to third place JM, as GTS does pit with being a higher tier driver, so that will put GXD and Voxidian and vice versa up a place.
Voxy is catching, but oh, of course, GTS was up there, so that's another place. Of course it is.
Yeah, so that is P5 for Voxidian as it stands. It could be P4, but she's got just this lap.
Look at the difference in the grip through turns 1 to 4.
But we know what happened in the early stages when GXD and Voxidian went to war for a position. So hopefully we don't get. Hopefully it doesn't get too aggressive, especially on the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, I would now be in massive battery saving mode if I was them.
Especially GXD, because you want to try and have as much battery as possible to defend down the back straight, especially with the Red Bull in DRS. But we are
cruising up.
Yeah, we are following.
Look at the back of that Ferrari; it's everywhere and through. Oh, that gave me the willies.
In the meantime, I was watching the race leader because he is coming to the end of the lap. So Ivan has just got one more corner to go, and Ivan wins in China and extends his lead in Tier 3. He's pretty much making Tier 3 his own, a bit like Bobo did with... Armar did with Tier 0 at this point.
Got some fighting.
Yeah, we do have some... Yeah, further back. Cheesy and Sinful. They've not given up their fight, especially on this last lap, but Cheesy ahead of Sinful, and that'll be the battle for that done and dusted. Lil, very well done to hold on to P8. Very well done.
I can't believe those tyres went that long. They do look, that front left looks pretty hideous.
Yeah, just got a few more cars left to finish. We've got Triz comes 12th, Geke 13th, Rylan in 14th. And I think... Hive is too far back for Armar to let through, so Armar will finish in 15th, and then we're just waiting for the Mercedes to take the flag, and then we can run through the provisional Tier 3 finishing order.
Yeah, so there was some pretty tense racing happening in the midfield today. So the front of the field, there was a little bit of action.
It was relatively quiet at the front, but it was all kicking off in the midfield, as you're saying, as Hive takes the flag to be the last finisher, 16th. Sadly, no points for Hive. But hopefully, now that he's got that quali ban served, he could probably have a better race in, I believe it's Qatar next week, if I'm correct.
It is, because I despise that track.
I like watching it, but I hate driving it. It is so boring to drive, in my opinion.
It's just all
It's a bona fide bike track, and I'll leave it at that.
Go fast, turn left. Go fast, turn right.
In-game driver of the day. Not surprised that the games give it to Voxidian with her performance. But these are the provisional orders for Tier 3. We have Ivan winning, Josh Boy and JM rounds off the podium finishes. Then it is Voxidian P4, GXD P5, Cheesy 6th, Sinful 7th, Lil holds on to P8, Vitalso 9th, GTS in P10, Popito 11th, Triz is in 12th, Geke 13th, Rylan 14th, Armar 15th, and the last finisher, Hive, in 16th. Non-classifiers are Darth Timms, Nikolakis and Darky, the only non-finishers. Pretty much standard Chinese Grand Prix, I would say, for that one.
Well, I thought it was. I thought there was some interesting tactics that were forced upon people there, and actually, hats off to both of the drivers who had to make a decision between pitting and not pitting because they were on those mediums, and they both, in their own way, made it work. So
because Voxidian went for the extra stop, went for the mediums to the end, and came like a rat out of a trap, and literally was taking everyone to the cleaners on those closing laps. But fair play to Lil. How did she get those mediums to go to the end there? She must have been really being careful in the corners and really nursing them. But I will say this, as I mentioned, probably what did help her staying in that fight was the fact that Sinful and Cheesy were constantly fighting each other, so she could just sit there behind them and just stay in that DRS and just get pulled along to the end. So that probably helped her, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be dealing with the lack of grip that those things would have had at the end. So fair play, hats off.
And I am going to give my driver of the day to Voxidian as well, because she did start down towards the back end because she didn't get a time in the dry.
I think they were 14th.
Yeah, and making that extra stop as well. I think she could have been on for higher if it weren't for that safety car, because that safety car came at not the right time for the likes of her and Lil, for example, because they were on hards.
Well, you could make the other argument as well, because I think they ended up. I think Voxy ended up. Nova Voxy ended up in a position up from where they pitted, I think.
You could look at it both ways, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were 5th, and then pitted, and obviously came back to 4th. So would
the tyre offs.
Yeah, it's impressive anyway.
Yeah.
It's impressive stuff.
So that's... Go on.
I was going to say, definitely the hardest working driver on the track tonight. That's what I would have said.
Well, I would say both Voxidian and Lil, to be honest, have been the two most hard-working in that race. Yeah. And she had a brilliant qualifying, did Lil, but those opening laps must have been a struggle for her being on those hard tyres. It took her quite a few laps, especially with the VSC, a couple corners into lap 1. She just couldn't get the hard tyres switched on.
Yeah, no, they are difficult, especially when you've been stuck behind a safety car as well. Like at the start for Lil and Voxy at the start, they were both struggling to get restarted, weren't they? Yeah,
I did Voxy in the YouTube chat before we finish off. She dropped 2 places under the safety car. She had to, because of having to double stack behind Josh Boy. So
yeah, we saw that on the stream actually.
Yeah, I did catch it on the stream, and. To be fair, having to double stack behind your teammate and then coming back the way she did, it's fair play.
Yeah. Awesome racing.
Yeah, I'm not going to baffle on any more than I need to, because we have got one more race this evening to come, which is Tier 4, and that'll be going live at 9:45. So...
Yeah, in which Ashley will be revealing his helmet to everybody, apparently.
Yeah, so if I were you, I would tune in for Tier 4 just to see Ashley's helmet, as long as whoever's lead gets it shown on stream. So hopefully the big reveal will happen for Tier 4 with Ashley's helmet, because he says yeah.
After all this build-up, if it's not pink and purple, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Anyway, we should probably move on.
Yeah, we probably should. So that is Tier 3 in China wrapped up. Ivan wins and more than likely extends his lead in the championship, and also picking up some big points for Racing Bull in the process with that race win.
I feel like actually we probably should recognise Ivan's performance there, because he absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially pretty much cruising to the end, just making sure those nothing happened and just keeping it tidy.
Yeah, avoiding penalties, all that kind of good stuff. Well done.
Yeah, so hats off to you, Ivan, on that one and extending your lead in the championship. But that is, as I say, for the umpteenth time, Tier 3 done and dusted.
One more thing. No.
But yeah, that's it from me and Mr. Hills for this evening. You will have Tier 4 later on, and I'm trying to think who's on comms for that one. But either way, the comms doesn't matter. Ashley's helmet is what's on the line, so tune in for that, if anything. So that's us done for this evening. Good night.
It is. I will. It's been fun. It's been fun doing this with you again.
Yeah.
After too long.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the evenings, everybody.
See you later.